And AJ, oh, there's Russ, wonderful. And Andrew, I already. Hale. I know that, and I just blanked. So anyhow, welcome, and so I don't think we have our minutes.
We do.
Do we?
Yes. There's at the end of the table.
Well,
Oh, Bruce, sorry, you don't have,
all right, let me make sure everyone's gotten their,
Bruce, did you write these minutes from the last meeting? Oh, no, Russ.
I did not.
So Bruce doesn't have access to the minutes. Sorry. Bruce.
and
Okay.
Yeah, hold it out. There you go.
Bruce?
Just stay like that.
Bruce,
Can you
see him
zoom in?
Yeah, that's fine. I can make that out.
Mike is our minute taker.
I'm on.
And here's, I know you weren't here last time, and we were thinking that we kind of want to use a little bit of a grid system for, action items and things like that, but anyhow.
So this is for the minute taker to use as a
Yeah, we were
guide?
thinking about using that as a template for
I
our
didn't have-
minutes,
Oh,
but we can.
It's a good idea, whatever.
So
You
if
try it.
there are, maybe we should hold on our
We could do
approving
it
our
at the
minutes,
next-
so at the next meeting, is that okay? Since we don't even have a
Yeah.
quorum to,
Well, we might have quorum. I don't know what a quorum is.
Is
Oh.
that four,
Yeah.
five?
well, we do have
Or
a
the
quorum,
s-
Yeah.
of the-
because Russ just
Six.
came in.
Yeah.
So, okay,
But
well,
Bruce-
let's
but
take a
Bruce
look
doesn't have
and,
them, so maybe Bruce is not.
yeah. What's that? What'd you say?
Bruce doesn't have the minutes, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure about him voting on the minutes.
Emma,
Yeah.
can you email the minutes to me?
Let me try quickly.
I could take a picture and send it to you.
That's true.
Oh, yeah,
Text it.
Does that work?
I
Maybe?
think I'm logged into my
I
email.
could do that pretty quick.
Do it here.
Did you already do it, Russ?
Well, I've taken a picture, but,
Did you do it? You got his number? Or
Yeah.
his
well,
email?
I think I probably do, but
Got it. Bruce Parker.
there it is.
Bruce, do you want it to canby.com or iCloud?
Either one, canby.com.
Okay,
It doesn't matter.
didn't realize I have two of yours.
Well, I texted them to you too. AJ, what was your last name?
It's Miller.
Miller.
Where was this one?
Russ, I have your photograph.
Okay.
Oh, the car
Oh, the color.
at the exit. Yeah, so they're pulling out and a bike's going on the sidewalk.
Russ,
Yes.
I'm afraid, you sent me the agenda.
Well, isn't that nice? Well, you have it now. Okay, I'll take another one.
Hale, H-A-L-E.
Yeah, you're
I know you from somewhere.
council.
Not because you've been around.
Park and
Park and Rec.
Yeah.
Right.
Park and
Yeah,
Rec.
Council
And
Stern is
Council
not
as
here
well.
either.
Right, okay.
You've probably seen me walking. I live right down by the police
Oh,
department.
okay.
Oh, okay.
So. Walk to
Always
work.
gotta be careful when we say.
Okay, I did the right one
You're
that
from
time.
somewhere, right?
I don't have a record. Not that kind of record.
If there are any corrections, please let me know on the minutes. Otherwise, Bruce, once you've had a chance to review, I'll take a motion.
He's still reading.
Yeah. We had very brief minutes the other day, and then And we've got longer ones this time.
Mindy, I've reviewed the minutes.
Okay,
Why took him
Second.
so that, oh, he moved.
okay, any corrections?
No corrections. I
Okay,
make a motion that minutes be approved.
okay, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And moving on, we kind of already did introductions, but I'm going to throw it over for a public comment because I think, Andrew, you might have something to share with us.
Well, I was just gonna check in with, well, actually, all of you is fine, but I was trying to contact you and Bruce, but I don't think I have the correct emails because they bounced back.
Oh, yeah,
So the Park and Rec Advisory, Cappard,
yes.
has a couple of open seats, and we are, I believe there's been some postings up for applications. And that would be something that, it would be nice if we could get members from different other community groups as part of Cappard, so we can get as much representation as we can within Cappard of the city and the different interests within the city. So I just wanted to let you guys know that there are openings open for applications. So if anybody's interested in that, I left them out in the truck, but I could grab one for anybody that's interested.
Okay, yes,
Yeah, I think there's 2 seats open.
Can you give a quick,
Yes.
my understanding is, you're talking about the district, correct?
Yes,
Not-
Canby area
Not the
park-
city.
Yeah, that's separate.
Can you just give like a,
So,
you know?
Cappard has existed for a long time before me, I think since the 60s. Canby Area Park and Rec District. So in it, it's existed for a really long time. It was originally created to fund the pool and was unsuccessful. So we could go down all of the unsuccessful things that have happened, but Cappard is still around, and it could be a potential funding mechanism for park and recreation in the city of Canby, because it's a special district. It has some different taxing and bond type mechanisms that it can use to fund things like that. Right now, we don't have a tax base, so there's nothing there, but we have 2 empty seats. We've just recently reduced the size of the district from the previous district, which was, I believe, matched the school district boundaries. And it was very large, and when anything tried to pass, it didn't, because there's a lot of folks that live way out in all of these directions that don't use the parks in Canby. So we recently shrank that district size down to essentially the city plus some of the urban growth boundary stuff. It's not huge, but it's more than the city limits, but not quite all of the urban growth boundary. And we have those 2 seats open, and we just want to get a full board so we can continue working on growing what we're doing and go from there.
Yeah,
So I've got your contact info. I will get you a copy.
yes, my apologies for.
Yeah.
No.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened. I think I had this, so maybe it just bounced back because there was something wrong with my email. So I'll try it again.
Okay, yeah.
But
Sometimes there was an old Mindy Mo at Canby that
that might have been it.
bumped.
Oh, you know
out.
what? It might have been an at Canby one. That
I
might
think
have
so.
been it. So
How many positions on the board? I know of 2 board members.
total of
Alright.
5 positions on the board, and there are 2 open right now. So right now it's just myself, Ryan Nelson, and Chantel. I can't remember her last name right now. Chantel. She works over at the backstop. Why am I forgetting her last name? Harney.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are the folks that are on there right now.
Hi, Cliff. Wonderful. And then have you talked with the Parks and Rec Board, or our Parks Board?
Well, so I'm on the Parks Board, so I get to be the
Well, there you
representation on
are.
Cappard for the Parks Board.
Terrific.
So yeah, I recently joined
Love
that.
that.
So yeah, and there's other folks that are talking to other groups, like Chantel was talking to Canby Kids. We're just trying to get, a good cross-functional team that can go and report out to those groups
Great.
on, what we're trying to do and, where we can help you and where you can help us. And we just all want to work together because
Great.
we all use the same parks and recreation here in town.
Okay. Well, thank you very
Yeah.
much. Appreciate it.
Okay.
And you're welcome to stay and
That's
listen.
my plan.
and-
What's your name?
Andrew Hale,
Andrew
H-A-L-E.
Hale, okay.
Yep.
Do you have the agenda for?
Oh, yes, of course.
I know very little
And
about that capper, but it's been around, but it never has gotten off the ground. Really. So what's, do you suppose, what's been the opposition to it? Maybe it was there was too much of the real estate around outside the city limits that was included. Is that what kind of took it down?
That's been what we've found in the last probably 5 to 10 years, just with speaking with people and polling and research on the ballots, the measures that did go onto the ballot, and looking at the makeup of where those votes were coming from. A lot of the no votes are coming from outside of the city, more than 60%, and a lot of the yes votes are coming from within the city. So we thought, okay, well, if we can shrink the boundary to a group that's more represented and uses the parks here, that would give us an opportunity to maybe get a funding mechanism. And we don't have any solid plans on what exactly that would look like yet, but before we went to ballot, obviously we would have a plan and we would have all of those details worked out, because it would be to fund parks and recreation here in town. So.
thank you. Moving on. We will go to old business unless there's new business to be introduced. I don't think so. Okay. The 5-year bike ped crash data, and we wanted to have an opportunity to go over this data with you and see if there's ways that we can help and address any issues that you guys might really see that need some attention.
So thanks for having us, appreciate it. My name's George Stroh with the Police Department. This is AJ Miller, he's our traffic officer. Sorry we didn't make it last month, but we're here today. And so I'll talk a little bit about what I saw, and then AJ actually goes to the majority of crashes when he's on duty. So he has a little bit more insight also. So one of the things I found, we don't have a lot. I mean, one is too many, right? I mean, right? We want to try to eliminate the most. We don't have a lot, and it's kind of average. It looks like 5 to 7 per year. We did add this year, it looks like we've had 1, and he can tell you a little bit about that one, but that was 1. So we really don't have a lot. And one thing that was interesting is 12 out of the 29 were in parking lots or private property.
Oh, they were parking lots?
Yes. So almost half, right? And those are, and if you look in the map, which is great, thanks for doing this map, is that, it's kind of, and the ones that aren't are downtown, which makes sense because it is really the slower areas where people drive, but backing out or pulling out of driveways and onto the roadways, and they don't see a pedestrian or they don't see a bike. Fortunately, we haven't had any major, usually if it's a bike pedestrian, there's gonna be an injury, right? It just happens, right? But we really haven't had that many serious injury ones for pedestrians. We had one last year, which was kind of a unique situation where someone was intoxicated, had some mental issues, and the person also it hit the pedestrian, was frantically going to the hospital because someone was in the hospital. So it was like a perfect storm type of thing. It wasn't really anything that anybody could have done. It was truly an accident. So that's one thing. And then, of course, we had the train pedestrian fatality that I'm sure all of you have heard about. And that one, again, it was totally accidental. He wasn't using, the crosswalks or on Pine Street. He cut through the fence and was walking along, had headphones on, right? So not paying attention at all. The train, a lot of people asked, I think the speed of the train, what was it? I think 30.
I think it was less than that. I was in the 20s.
Yeah,
so
it could
pretty
have been.
slow.
So the train was not going very fast, but it's hard to stop a train.
Yeah.
It was a freight train, right? Union Pacific. And those are hard to stop. And he blew his horn, hit his brakes, and there was nothing he could do. And we think that the young man just wasn't paying attention, looking at his phone with headphones on, right? And just didn't see it. So unfortunately, those events, happen. But overall, you know, we really do not have a lot, and not a lot of serious ones. Anything else that you saw from?
Like the data, like what he said, there's not a ton, and when they are, they're just minor injuries. There's 2 intersections that I actually wrote down that in my experience are probably one of the 2 worst ones that we actually surprisingly hadn't had a lot of crashes with pedestrians or bicyclists. I think there was one at one of the intersections and then one at the other one. It's Northwest First and Ivy. So literally right over here, the next block down, traffic going southbound on Ivy, they blow that stop sign all the time. You can sit out there and they'll just go through it at 20, 25 miles an hour. The other one, and I can say this from my experience because I almost hit somebody at this intersection a year ago at night. And if you're coming off of Pine from like the fire department, South Pine, and you're turning left onto 99, it's a solid green signal. There's no special left turn lane. And the A-pillar on the car, so your front windshield connects with the A-pillar right here, that completely obstructs, depending on what kind of car you're in, but in a Charger, the car that I drive, it completely obstructs that part of where the pedestrian is standing waiting to cross. And so if you're actually paying attention, you'll never see them unless you start driving forward, and then you'll eventually see a pedestrian crossing.
I've noticed that there too.
So next time you guys are driving there, look, because you'll see that if you're in the right car, that A-pillar will block your view of where a pedestrian is going to be standing there.
Just because of the way. And that is getting redone by ODOT, right? I mean, from new traffic signals, so it may play a little bit of part. I don't know exactly, but you had, I think, asked a question about sidewalks. Maybe you already know the answer, but on 99, basically from Holbert Flowers on the north side of 99 all the way, to Fred Meyer, right? And I did talk to Jerry this morning. There's no plans for ODOT to put a sidewalk on that. It ends at Holbert Flowers there, and they don't have any plans to put it. It'd be nice, right? It would be really nice.
Do you think that would have made a difference on that train pedestrian?
No,
Yep.
I really don't. Yeah. So they are gonna put some pedestrian sidewalks on Pine Street, when it comes into Fourth there, it's kind of that weird intersection. So that's being redone. Emma, you may know a little bit more about this, but anyways, that's gonna be redone. I think they're starting it next year, and by the following year, it's gonna be redone. So where, kind of hard to explain. So Pine Street comes in and flips around by the railroad tracks onto Fourth, which is the street in front of the sidewalk, in front of the fairgrounds. So that is gonna be moved to behind where the train depot is. So it's gonna come around the train depot, so it won't be so close to the railroad tracks, because that little intersection is bad, right? Because both back up there on Pine. So that will be really nice when it's at, and they're putting sidewalks on both sides of that when Pine comes around all the way to Fourth.
Yeah.
Because right
That'll
now,
be a
there's
lot
not
safer.
any
Yeah.
right there in that one section.
And you do get a lot of people walking during the fair and events.
Yes, yeah. So slowly we've been getting sidewalks, right? So slowly, like the fair didn't have them, right, for a long time. In front of the high school, we didn't have them for a long time, which was crazy. And then the other part that's gonna be really nice, it's already started, is Ivy Street, right? South Ivy Street.
Yes.
I believe they're doing it in kind of 2 phases, one this year and one next year, but basically from South Ivy all the way to the school, there's gonna be new sidewalks all the way down. Which
And
is great. Because those kids, if you see those kids after school, they walk right in the bike lane with no barriers from cars.
And we have a next item on the agenda, which I would like to have you guys here for
Yeah.
also, that addresses kind of just outside of that zone, just we have what we call hotspots, just little places that we would like to have your feedback
Oh,
on
yeah.
too, that sometimes with just a little bit of better street marking,
Right.
or, some low dollar
Mhm.
but high return, a little clearer indication of, an ADA correct, I know ADA is
Right.
expensive, but, someone putting their sandbag in the ADA ramp
Yeah, right.
or
right.
something,
Yeah.
or a better marked bike lane, that sort of thing,
Yeah,
so.
some of them aren't very costly to fix. So any
Really
hotspots like
simple
that,
things.
feel free to email us and we'll work with Jerry, Public
Yeah.
Works, and try to see if we could come up with some. Yeah. I mean,
So-
anything that you see that seems like, hey, this is unsafe for pedestrians or bicycles.
Yeah.
I'm a big cyclist, I ride bikes a lot, and I used
Yeah.
to do it a lot more, but.
So,
But anyways, yeah, so anything for safety wise, I mean, we're on board because
and
we don't want them getting hit, that's for sure.
one thing I was noticing on that section between Hulbert's and Pine,
Yes.
pretty much none of that is city-owned. It's ODOT and then
Railroad.
train.
Yes.
And so they have no interest in putting anything there,
Right,
although
right.
in the TSP from 2010 or whatever it
Mhm.
was, we do have a multi-use just path
Path. Huh.
indicated for there.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah,
So not kind of a sidewalk, but more of a
But
path.
I
on-
think-
yeah.
yeah, just to get any bikes or people walking
Yeah,
just off the
off
shoulder,
the shoulder, yeah.
but
'cause that's
still
all there is
on
is
the
that shoulder.
ODOT thing. And I don't know how
Fortunately, we haven't had, I don't
municipality gets
remember
that to
any
happen.
crash, I mean, ped or bike crashes on that part of
Like between
99.
Locust and Pine.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
basically.
You guys aren't running into
No,
that?
I don't think we've,
Okay.
I mean, in all my years, I don't think we've ever had a pedestrian or a bicycle
Okay.
hit on that portion.
And what
Um,
about, when people used to try to cross from the apartments over to Thriftway? Pretty much since the fence went up, is it
Yeah,
kind of?
that's a lot better.
A
They
lot
are
better.
gonna put, what was it, Juniper?
You're
It's
talking
not
about
a
the Locust
true-
Street apartments, like behind Fred Meyer Fuel,
Yeah,
going
just-
straight across? Okay.
Yeah, just going across, right? I think at Juniper, they're putting some, it's not a true crosswalk, right?
Oh, it's an island. It's a pedestrian
I think
island,
they're
is I think
putting
is
a
what they're
pedestrian
calling it.
island, so if people do cross, they have a little bit of safety
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Because people aren't gonna, they do the path of least resistance, right? They won't go
Yes,
to Ivy, which
yes.
is safer, right? They'll cross, right, which is unfortunate,
Mhm.
but I think with this 90/90 improvement, they're doing a little bit,
Somewhere
something
of
there.
that, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, And there was one other thing I was gonna mention about, 99 Pine, but now I can't remember.
And
Yeah.
if ever there is, starts to become an issue with, repeated crashes somewhere or anything
Yeah.
like that, we as a committee are really happy to
To look into it. and help
support
and see, yeah, no, that'd be
your
great.
findings and bring it to the attention and stuff.
And one thing that we're gonna do in the fall is kind of a railway safety campaign. We're doing from the police department, fire department, school district, Operation Lifesaver, which does railroad crossings, Amtrak and Union Pacific. On kind of a little campaign on safety, right? Because most of those are not just, at the crosswalks, right? They're actually trespassing on railroad property and going across. So it's gonna be a lot on education of trespassing on railroad property, right? And some enforcement, also just making sure people aren't stopped on the railroads, or going late on the railroad crossings. So there's gonna be a whole campaign on it.
Yeah.
And it kind of stemmed from this fatality, that we've kind of got this going, and the experts say to wait, don't do it right after the fatality, wait a little bit, because it's already kind of gotten some
Yeah.
publicity, and now, try to,
When-
we'll probably do it when school gets back in session, somewhere around there.
And
Yeah,
so you haven't set a date
we haven't
yet.
set a date yet,
But-
but it'll be sometime, probably September-ish.
We
Yeah.
would love to.
Yeah,
How's that gonna work then? Is it gonna be presented mostly to the kids?
we'll try to send some information out through the schools, for sure.
And where will it be held?
So more of the campaign is like get information out, and then there's gonna be lots of officers out enforcing, but more educating, right? So if we see people, so there'll be extra officers out in the railroad, if they see kids trespassing. They trespass a lot on the Oregon,
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
Fred Meyer. So officers there warning, it'll be a kind of a warning mission on those, like, hey, you can't trespass, you actually could go to jail for trespassing on railroad property, right? So it's more of an educational campaign type of thing, yeah. But definitely lots of officers involved, yeah.
Very good.
And yeah, Operation Lifesaver, which is a nonprofit that does a lot of this, will help us, and they'll put out some information, and we'll try to put it on, social media and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. It's awareness, just bring up awareness on.
And we're happy to share and
Share it also,
disperse
yeah,
any
so
social
we'll let you
media
know.
stuff
Perfect,
too,
yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
Anything
Wonderful.
else, AJ, on that?
I just wanted to comment on a lot of the pedestrian crashes were located right here in kind of the downtown district.
Yeah.
I went through all the police reports this afternoon and I just noticed that a lot of it was just drivers not paying it. Trying to pay, they claim they were paying attention, but they just didn't see somebody. And so it's a lot of inattentiveness from drivers, and I don't think so much as far as like the design of the streets or anything like that. I think it's a lot of just drivers not.
And most of them are
Seeing
slow speed, right? Like
Very low
backing
speed.
in.
I think every single one of them was low speed. There was a pedestrian, actually a student that ran across the road at Cedar, like right in front of the school there.
Yeah,
There was a
I
low
was
speed
noticing.
one, and then there was one off of North Grant Street at Fourth, kind of by night, which I think was also a juvenile. Very low speed crashes, but you know, I don't think it's a design of the street or any issue like that. I think it's just the drivers not paying
Or
attention.
light, you know, I always wonder about fog, darkness and lighting, you know? It's, I mean, a street light is not cheap, I realize, but at the same time, you know, just as long as we're not seeing some real patterns that can be taken care of.
They're gonna close the doors. as soon as they see.
I always worry about some of the workers that walk up to Thriftway and back in the fog in February and the darkness
Oh, yeah.
and the no shoulder just when they get out of town, because at least in town they have a little more room.
Yeah.
And I always kind of want to supply them with bike lights and
Mhm.
even
Just to be visible.
better visibility
Yeah.
things. Anyway, yeah. Well,
Pass-
thank you.
I could pass this around. Here's the North Pine kind of street alignment. I could pass this. I don't know if you, but
No, I go across
get-
Pine a lot there, yeah.
yeah.
So this, it's, Google is calling them both Pine, but
Yeah,
this
Oh, yeah, so basically,
is what we're talking about.
so
right
yeah,
here.
so basically, you know, we're Pine, yeah, because this is Fourth actually.
Yeah, this is.
So
North
it's
River.
gonna come like this, and this is gonna be eliminated. So it's gonna come like this and out to here, which will eliminate a lot of the mess that happens right here in the backup and people trying to beat
Yeah.
other cars. And there's a stop here, but people don't stop there because they stop in the middle. And there'll be sidewalks all the way down from this, because right now there's no sidewalk here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Pine all of Pine a city street?
No, it's not.
Where does it turn into
No,
county?
I think at the apartments, it turns into county.
So
Right here.
so
I
the
think
sidewalks will
somewhere
go,
right around here, and the sidewalk will
will
end.
end, yeah,
Yes, you're absolutely right.
yeah.
I know,
And-
there's these weird pockets of streets right there in the county.
So then on the other side, on the south side, is Pine
Over here.
alignment gonna be the same, or is that?
I think so, I know they're redoing the traffic
be
signal and stuff, and you know,
offset
maybe some of these, but
significantly.
I don't know exactly, yeah.
So why is that called Pine? That's Fourth.
That's a Google
Yeah,
mistake.
that's Google.
That's just, they don't
Yeah,
always
this
have
is
it
Fourth,
right,
right,
yeah.
and this is Pine.
This should be
Oh.
Fourth, and that is, this is mine.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
so when is,
Don't
Pine's
trust
very
Google.
windy.
so when do you
Is that
anticipate
yours?
this happening?
Okay.
Did you see it? I don't know.
He
See
said,
that there,
he
so yeah, I
said
Yeah, I
walked through
just
there.
kind of.
some of it next year,
Been driving through there a lot.
some of it
I-
late this year, some of
Yes.
it next year.
Yes, it backs up.
How do you
Yeah.
break it up?
What?
That's gonna be
Well-
great. One more,
It will be very nice, once
They'll
that's
issue
done,
you a
yes.
shovel.
what about the Walnut extension and that,
Yeah,
anything with the industrial traffic?
I know they're
Um,
working, do you know anything about it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
supposed to
think
be
it's supposed
done
to start
next,
next year.
yeah, I
Right.
think it's supposed to be done by like end of
I
summer.
think is acquired in the
Yeah.
right of ways, and so it'll be really nice because
Yeah,
truck traffic from in and out will come into, from 99 onto there
Yeah.
instead of coming into town, for that side. Yeah.
and I'm hoping that, as much as we can redirect bike traffic, not to be going out to 99E there, and hopefully still using Territorial or Sequoia.
Yeah,
um,
yes, right, yeah.
a little less interaction with, Bruce was proposing, Bruce, did you want to mention your?
Yeah.
cons- And,
The concern of the plan as it stands now is you have a bike lane with the redoing of Walnut, which will come right up to 99E. what I'm concerned about is with heavy truck traffic, a truck or a semi making a right turn. And of course, with a semi, those trailer wheels in the rear track to the inside quite a bit. And they'll come right up into the bike lane. And I actually had a friend killed this way a number of years ago. And I think the answer there is the bike lane stops and comes up in what we call a cycle track. In other words, it's detoured onto a wider part of the sidewalk up to the light for the crossing.
You're saying that's what you suggest, or that's the plan?
That's what I suggest,
Okay.
and it's not the plan. But I think
Okay.
it would be something that could be easily done at this point.
Yeah, I understand that concern for sure. Yeah, we can bring that with that up to Jerry and see where that's
Yeah,
at for sure.
as much separation, because I think it'll be great for all that commercial traffic not to have
Right.
that interface there too. So,
No, that makes sense. We'll look into that.
Okay. Do you understand what I mean by a cycle track? It's essentially a ramp that comes back up over onto the sidewalk area.
Yeah, I have seen those before.
Okay,
Yeah.
if
yeah,
you look around the Clackamas Town Center area, there's a lot of cycle tracks.
There's a lot over there. Okay, yeah. Amazon, man, it's just like.
There's not an intersection ones, but
Yeah, I
Kinda
know.
like
It's
this
it's a little
race.
more separated or,
yeah, it's,
where my
Just-
cursor is, you see it?
Big ADA ramp kind of, right, without the bumps.
yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like, instead of like right on the street, so that way.
That intersection. Yeah, so this one is
That
like
one is like,
great,
one,
you know,
right?
it's
Yeah.
fully separated by a curb, basically.
Yes.
and this is just something we kind of learned as a committee from something, a lot of us with riding in Europe and having that wonderful video you showed us, that, can you go back to that picture of that cycle track that you
first
had
one?
just, that one right there? Yeah, so, I guess that's, let's say that was a driveway to the left or top of the screen there. If that were a driveway, if instead of doing a crosswalk marking,
Mhm.
making it look more continuous with the cycle track, simple paint choice,
Mhm.
but it slows traffic down to a much greater degree for caution, realizing that they really have to look. And I think simple things like that hopefully are something to keep in mind as our density and city grows, yeah.
Mhm.
So things that we can help advocate for down the line, so.
We've got some real difficulties here, talking about cycling in Europe, is since we have this wide open spaces, wide open streets. And one of the videos from this place, he talked about going through towns, and there's no speed limit signs. They just narrow the road.
They just narrow the road.
Narrow the road, the traffic
Automatically
slows,
slows down.
automatically slows down.
Yeah.
And they don't really have to worry so much about putting speed limits up. And,
Interesting.
for that kind of thing. However, here, we're already built.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know
So,
that's
so,
right.
so there's a lot of things that I would like to see to help pedestrian traffic, which I think would be, long-term economically good. It
Yeah.
would be a lot better to have a bridge going across 99 rather than us dealing constantly with people having to go over. We have the one down here for bikes, but people aren't gonna use that for
Yeah.
walking around to
Right,
get
right.
to something in downtown,
Yeah.
maybe where Grant is or something like that. But chances of getting that approved is
Those are-
really,
those are-
really slight, yeah.
No, I do believe if you build it, they will come type of thing,
Yeah.
right? Like, my daughter lives in Boulders, I go there a lot, they have tons of bike paths, and they're used. People ride their bike.
Yeah,
If you have good bike paths, they feel safe.
right.
People
Yeah.
will ride.
Emma,
Yeah,
Precisely.
I just sent you an email with a picture of just a picture. If you'll share that,
yeah, give me a minute, I'll pull it up.
okay.
I'll stop sharing.
So this is kind of for fun and doesn't really pertain to exactly what we're doing. But this is an example of a cycle track. It happens to run from the Capitol down Pennsylvania Avenue and it ends right at the White House. And so this picture is taken actually from the entrance to the White House back down Pennsylvania Avenue down. Can you see that?
Yes. Let me
Oh,
share
right
it.
through the middle. It's a 4-lane, but geez,
And there's a cycle track right down the center. Yeah.
we should do that.
That right down 99, let's go.
So I thought if, DC can do it right down Pennsylvania Avenue, we can go right down 99E. So anyway, this is for fun. And,
All right.
and the green page is showing a conflict zone.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
The other thing to think about with 99, with Walnut, is that one of the intersections is controlled by ODOT, so it would, the ODOT may have policies about
Right,
that sort of
about
stuff,
how
and
it
that may have to
works,
be
right.
something
Oh, okay.
would have to be advocated for with ODOT.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
That's
Once it
it.
bumps up to 99, it's ODOT, yeah, it's
Yeah.
ODOT
I'm
show.
sure they have pretty strict policies
Yeah.
regarding that, so something to keep in mind, maybe that's something.
Very good. If there is anything else on the traffic crash data that
If you have, like I said, any hot spots, any concerns, people, even vehicles driving too fast in areas, please let us know. AJ gets those complaints and he'll sit in certain areas to watch for that stuff, so.
we do have one right here.
Perfect, oh, look at that.
And
I'll take it.
this is moving on to our Clackamas County. I can give you a copy of this and I'll send it over to Jerry and
Yeah.
But this is from and I'm sharing it for the first time with the bike committee here, and this is from the Clackamas County Pedestrian and Bikeway Advisory Committee. And I'm just reading this out loud, is a 14-member citizen advisory committee that assists in the development of bicycle and pedestrian plans and advises on matters relating to active transportation. The purpose of this letter is to highlight safety concerns on South Ivy Street in Canby, which PBAC reviewed and discussed at our monthly meeting on Tuesday, May 7th. South Ivy Street is a north-south roadway that serves as a main connection to bicycling south of the city limits. The collector road also provides connection to community destinations such as elementary, middle, and high schools, Canby Adult Center, Hope Village, and Canby Swim Center. It is classified as a bicycle route with bike lanes in the Canby TSP. However, despite being classified as a dedicated bike lane in the city plans, there is little indication that the road is for bicycle travel. This is due to inadequate pavement markings and signage. The bike lanes take the appearance of a wide shoulder that invites vehicle parking, and there are few bicycle stencil pavement markings in the lane. The second safety issue concerns cars parking illegally in the bike lane, forcing bikers to enter the travel lane and run the risk of colliding with traffic. The area in front of the Puddin River Chocolates facility is especially problematic, with vehicles routinely parked within the bike lane. PBAC proposes two primary solutions, both of which are relatively low cost. First, we propose increasing the amount of bicycle stencils in the current bike lane to the NACTO conventional bike lane standards. This would include adding stencils at beginning and end of the bike lane, pockets approaching an intersection approaches, and the far side of all arterial crossings, and at minimum every half mile. The second improvement the committee proposes is the addition of no parking in the bike lane signs at strategic and problem locations along the route. Since the lane is not clearly marked as a bike lane, it's easy for auto users to assume it's a shoulder or area to park, especially along a stretch that has no curb. Without clear signage, these parking infractions are hard to enforce, hence cars continue to park in areas designated for bicycle use. These safety improvements could be implemented during the South Ivy Street Pedestrian Improvements Project with Clackamas County, which Clackamas County is leading. Regardless, the pavement markings and signage should extend the entire corridor and not terminate at the southern end of Ivy Street Capital Project. The road is a county road, but within the city limits, creating an opportunity for collaboration, especially as the road transitions to city jurisdiction in 2025. We hope you consider these suggestions, and the city of Canby and Clackamas County are able to collaborate for blah, 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 blah. And best, Dave Weber, Chairman, Clackamas County Pedestrian Bike. So,
Yeah, if you want to share that with us, and we can share it
Yeah.
also with Jerry, because
And
he works with the county on that. I know some of that's gonna be addressed in the whole, from, basically from 99 to the school to 13.
yeah, and this is,
After that, they're not doing right, it's a little
Right.
bit further. And that, I know from 99 to 13th, it's gonna, after all the improvements are done, it comes back into the city, if I recall right. But after that, it's still in the county,
yeah,
so
and,
it would be, but Jerry works with the county very well.
Yeah.
But,
and I might send this to Joe Merrick too,
okay,
at the county. And I'll share that with him and CC Jerry, and
yeah,
they'll
that would
probably
be-
have it done by the end of the week, the way they work, so,
Yeah, no, that's great.
okay,
Andy,
yes,
with the letter, there is one point I have an exception with, and that is, it is marked with the wider stripe, which I think is 6 or 8 inches wide, which does designate it as a bike lane without other parking needing, other things needing to be implemented. So right now, it is a bike lane. And
I believe it is marked, there's
It
some,
is.
like, maybe not as many, but there are some, and it's a wide light.
It's so basically the people that park there are the parents picking up their kids from the elementary school there. They line up in the afternoon.
oh,
and they
over
are parked.
there, yeah,
There's probably 15 or 20 or more cars lined up in the bike lane there every
Yeah.
day. As schools
yeah,
get-
but it's usually only for about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a pretty short.
But the real problem has been, as I cycle through there, and other people have said this, right around Pudding River Chocolates, there's always at least one, but usually 2 cars parked there. And they're parking their cars on the street so they can allow business to use their parking. And that is a spot where the traffic is even a higher speed. Okay.
South of
I
13th.
know, like the school area, at least you're talking a lower speed, because now you got a school zone and school hours.
so the Traffic Safety Commission currently, it's my understanding, they have some emails going back and forth with the county to try to approve lowering the speed limit to 30 all the way to Goods Bridge. So there has been some committed.
It's there, 40 is right there, right?
It's 40 and then it changes to 50, I
From
think,
13th on.
right as you get
Hmm.
is it 20th. I think it
Yeah, so
changes
they
to
are
50
looking to
right
make
there.
it 30, basically at the bridge, and the river, all the way into town, which would be nice, yeah. So that'll make
And I
I more consistent.
I think that'll be good, and then we're gonna be getting denser, obviously, out there as they're making plans, and, it's still where a lot of the truck traffic comes from the south, so to have a clear bike lane as you're fatigued coming off
What
the bridge.
I would like to see done, is a little bit of enforcement, better, instead of enforcement, maybe education to the property, to the owners of these cars that happen to always park on South Ivy.
And can I,
Are you saying the ones south of 13th?
yeah, it's the
Yes.
ones south of 13th that are habitually there every day, all day.
Yeah, we could look into that. And also, I
You
just
know-
looked at, there are new bike lanes, once they do the sidewalk project, that will go from 99 to 13th at least.
Yeah, that's
So that will
great.
be all new markings and everything, so.
Can I compliment our Canby Police Department on how beautifully we've kept that clear at Redwood, coming off of 99E onto North Redwood, the bike lane there, because that used to be kind of scary if you ever rode a bike and got, when people were parking there. So thank you. You guys have really appreciate that, so.
You're talking about what happened like 5 or 8 years ago. The people park from those apartments,
Yeah, they
Or-
really,
duplexes,
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
right, yes, yeah.
yeah, between the city and the
Yep.
the
way
police
there.
department, we have appreciated it, so. If there isn't anything else, I mean, you guys are.
I'll stay for the rest of you, I know he's got
Sure.
something going.
I'll stay.
Yeah, go, it's interesting stuff.
And if there's, Bruce, was there anything else from Clackamas County?
I don't have anything else.
Yeah, neither. So over to you, Emma.
I don't have much today. I feel like we've been discussing it, but from the last meeting,
Yeah.
the question was, who controls the sidewalks on 99? The answer is ODOT. I think that was.
That was,
The template that we discussed, I had committed to trying to put it in a Google Drive version, but I don't have an account.
I do.
Or, so maybe you
I
could,
could do
I
that.
can't get access to the Google Drive without an account.
Okay, I can do it. I will take it home, scan it, and take care of it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and I think we've already talked about hotspots today unless anyone. Okay,
One thing I've been curious about is on North Redwood, with all the new houses on the east side. I live on the west side of Redwood there.
Yeah.
And man, those people enjoy walking, I mean, as much as anybody else. But where I live, I see so many people coming across to go to the bike path, which is right behind my house. And I've often wondered if there shouldn't be one or two at least crosswalks there,
Across Redwood.
crossing Redwood, yeah. I mean,
There
I
isn't
see
any,
these.
is there?
I still think it's a problem because parts of that road are still county, and I wanna say that like at some part, half of the road split down the middle is county and then the other half is
Yeah,
city.
you're right.
It is.
And so I think there's just so many different, areas where it's half the road's county, half of it's city, that would be a problem, I think.
Must be
trying
some
to-
reason, it just seems obvious that there should be some crosswalks there, I mean, you
So-
see these
No, I know
mothers
what you
pushing
mean,
the
yeah.
stroller and two
Right.
little ones walking beside, and
especially as they're both developed and all, and, yeah. And we
Yeah.
do have, especially where there's sidewalks on both sides. Go ahead, Bruce.
To have a crosswalk, you have to have the ADA ramps on both
Right.
sides. If that's available, I think we should propose it to Jerry and have Jerry work with the county. And if not, we can go to the county and come back again.
And also look at the TSP just to see if there was
Yeah.
anything
Didn't-
foresight-wise.
Didn't,
Way
in
back.
our evaluation of existing sidewalks, we determined that there is nowhere on Redwood that has two sidewalks on both sides?
There is now,
And then-
as they've been
Yeah,
developed.
there are
15th? Is there a
places-
15th?
there are
Oh, okay.
places, yeah.
I thought it was, maybe I was just looking at a whole block. I thought it was like
Yeah.
everywhere.
I think
It's only
15th
one
might,
side or the
right?
other.
That
I'm
one,
kinda
that's
looking-
one of the part of the stretch where a little bit of it, the
So 15th
southbound
and
side is in the
Redwood.
county of on
Say,
15th.
yeah, 17th is which is the street I
I'm
see
just
them
thinking
coming
if
across from. And that's
if the
one of the,
developers
that's
have already
what
put
continues
in the
across
ADA ramp.
Redwood from east to west.
And we have it on the other side.
Yeah, so I mean, it's natural
Don't you
for the
think that
people coming
between
out
Jerry and Joe-
across there would be
Yeah, I
one.
think
They
so.
should be able to collaborate and
The
just
17th
get
might
it
be
done
an
pretty easily.
option, yeah.
I think.
I'll talk to Jerry about it too, that we could look at it and see.
And so we're talking about 15th and Redwood, a
15th
possible
or 17th,
crosswalk?
or 17th
I
in
think
Redwood, maybe?
17th.
17th, well, it looks like, you look up 17th, bring up
17th
the
is the same,
satellite.
yeah, 17th is the same.
Bring up the satellite,
And-
looks like.
You know what? You also,
I can.
there at 16th, you have the access onto the Logging Bridge Road. So 17th, if,
Okay, 'cause it's all
if you
new
do have
houses.
crosswalks all right there,
And
it'd be
and
pretty
there's,
convenient.
Nice curves on all of them.
Yeah,
That's a
there
newer
might be
one, that's a
two
newer house.
locations. I've never, I know that 17th, a lot of people come walking down 17th. Cause I live there, but you know, maybe a block or two, whatever, the east or what.
Well, how many
north.
points is there access to the bike trail in the houses there?
Yeah. Looks like there's one on.
Three or
there's
something?
16th.
Well, yeah, there'd be
There's one on
16th.
18th,
I think it's right around, is it 18th?
16th and 18th at the end,
16th.
It's
yeah.
16th and
Okay.
18th.
Yeah.
So you'd want it fairly close to
So
that.
maybe 17th,
Yeah.
if,
Yeah, I
if
know,
the
might be right,
infrastructure's
yeah.
there, it might be the target.
Or 15th, because they could
Or
go that
15th.
way, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we could look into that and see.
Why not do both of them?
Yeah, or both, right, if it's
Yeah.
possible. That's a good point.
Right. Cool. All right. Anything else on hotspots? Otherwise, Brett's not here for outreach, and the annual bike rodeo is?
It is, June 8th.
June 8th,
June 8th, bike rodeo at Night
Night Elementary,
School
yep.
in the back, 10 a.m. Yeah,
10
we
a.m.
just got, yeah, I had a flyer and I took it out of here. But
Wait, at where?
10 a.m.
at night, so it's on the,
At night,
it's on
okay.
the like other side of night, so it's
Back
technically
side
the
of
back
the
playground side.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
North Fir and Fifth
So
is
we'll
the
do-
corner, yeah.
Wall carts.
Give out helmets to
Yeah.
kids that need them and do a little, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
oh,
it's fun, but yeah, June 8th
that's the
this year.
best.
Yeah,
Thank
it's good.
you.
And I was talking to somebody today and we've been doing the bike rodeo for over 30 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's,
Because it started before, I've been here 29, and it was started before I got here, so.
and how many, I mean, do you guys hand out bike helmets?
Bike helmets,
and-
yep, bike helmets, we have prizes, they go through the course and we
course.
teach them different, hand signals and all that kind of stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
safety and braking and all that kind of stuff, and Kiwanis helps us out,
We have some other
VFW.
sponsors that donate money. I think one sponsor is buying a bike to give away. Fred Meyer's gonna pitch in. Hot Rod Dreamworks in town donated some money.
Vegas, yeah, Kiwanis helps us
Yeah,
with
a bunch
snacks,
of
I mean,
local
there's a bunch, yeah.
businesses.
It's a
so.
great, it's a good event, yeah.
Oh, my
So you get good participation
Okay,
with
great.
all that.
Yeah, with all the, partners and stuff, and we have, it kind of depends on weather and what else is going on.
Baseball
but
tournaments
Anywhere
sometimes,
from
yeah.
100 to 200 kids, participate, so it's a good
Well,
event.
not to mention, you probably have a couple hundred cyclists in Canby that day on June 8th. It's the Pioneer Century put on by
Oh.
the Park in Wilman.
I've done that one before. It's been a
Yes.
while, but I've done that one. Yes, that's right.
You always hope there's no rain. on that day,
I know, right?
right? Otherwise, if there isn't anything else, I think we're just set for, yes, Russ.
Well, I want to make an announcement, for information, had nothing to do with bikes and stuff. But the Oregon State High School equestrian team championships were in Redmond
Yeah,
this past weekend. And my granddaughter was on the state championship drill team.
oh,
Six riders, and they're doing circles,
Wow.
crossing.
Maddie Biggie's on that, right?
What's that?
Maddie Biggie's on that?
Who?
Maddie Biggie,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good friend of mine, yeah.
wow, that's awesome. They've had a strong equestrian team for, and the choir
Choir
The
won
choir,
state,
yeah.
won state.
baseball teams in first place.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's some good, cool things.
Yeah.
Yeah, the equestrian team's fun, I know yeah.
All right, our next meeting is June 11th, and our,
I think that was an error on my end.
is that an error?
Oh, mine can
I
be
was
twice in a
just
row.
taking that for granted.
Sure.
But I don't
got it.
remember
I
who-
should.
I
Take
used
a
to
look.
have it down. And I can't remember who's next.
Oh, fine.
So is it June 11th?
It is June
Thought that was
11th.
Redmond
Yeah,
property.
June 11th is the
And-
next.
Oh, they are. They're gonna
For a minute taker, I'm not quite sure.
So there's
have
not.
we had
gonna be
any
a red-
applications to join
I
the
can't
committee?
remember.
What's that?
Have we had anybody apply to join the committee?
Just be open.
Not that I'm
This one
aware
probably
of.
won't.
We might want to, think about outreach.
And it'll be like
A
another.
lot of
I-
new
I
people
was
in
gonna
town, you gotta
say-
think of it.
Well, yeah, we just need how to get a hold of them,
I know,
Yeah.
so it would be
We,
obvious, it looks
I
like-
guess it would be difficult since, to my knowledge, no one speaks Spanish, but,
Oh, that's weird. So it'll be
bridging,
like,
so we're
yeah, okay.
doing, for the comp plan, we're doing a Spanish-speaking meeting, like, there's gonna be a meeting in Spanish about the comp plan to, that Bridging Cultures is doing in combination with the city. And so that would be a good opportunity to see if maybe there was someone from, I know we've talked about.
Yeah,
trying
that
to
would be a great
connect.
opportunity.
So let me talk to Dawn and see if maybe that's something that we could.
And we are looking for additional committee members.
Yeah,
I think we
we're
have
short one committee, two?
Yeah, one committee member.
one.
Is it in the city limits? Is it, they have to live with it?
No,
I don't
Okay.
think so.
I mean, but in near,
I'll talk to,
This-
my dad lives just out by the Dahlia Farm,
yeah,
so
That's fine, yeah.
yeah,
he's a
that's fine.
cyclist, so I don't know if he's got time, but.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. And the application is on the city website, and you can also contact me to find out, any other details you might want, but Shannon knows, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, otherwise, meeting adjourned.
Who is taking the minutes for the next meeting?
I think it's Britt next time, or
That's not me, I just took them.
you
Took
did,
'em.
so,
You guys
When was the
rotate?
last time you took
Well, Cliff took them before me, I
Anyway.
think, right?
Right?
yeah,
Okay, so we'll
So,
put Brit and then we'll
Britt,
figure it
I'm
out.
pretty sure, so. Okay, thank you
I'm gonna leave a couple
so
business
much.
cards for anybody.
Wonderful,
Sure.
If you guys wanna send me an email about any issues or whatever.
yeah, and
Or
I
if you